If I hear another person say something about Sony's games being $70, I'm coming to find you. Oh man, let's get into the video. Alright guys, so I wanted to make a quick video today just to talk a little bit about the recent events that that has transpired within the last few days, and just to kind of give my thoughts on it, you know, to preach the gospel, obviously, and bring some common sense to this cesspool of bullshit that is Twitter and the internet and the gaming community. So the big news, right, the other day was the fact that Microsoft seemingly raised the price for Xbox Live, right, or Xbox Gold, doubled the price for no reason whatsoever. So they raised the price from $60 for an annual fee to $60 for 6 months of Xbox Gold. Now, they did this without any prior knowledge, any justification, no modifications to Gold, nothing. They just literally said, hey, look, you guys are going to pay $60 extra for Xbox Gold, right? And that's just it. That's how it's going to be, right? And then the internet went into a complete uproar where everybody literally, I mean, almost everybody. I would like to say everybody, but you know, there's a select group of people who, who like to defend these type of things, which doesn't make sense to me. But the majority of people, within our community kind of stood up to what happened that day. And within the same day, within a 12-hour period or something like that, Microsoft decided to revert back to what they had previously. So they revoked that price hike, right? Now, that's not particularly the the topic of this video. What I want to talk about is a little bit of the aftermath, right, of what happened after that. So after Microsoft reversed this whole thing about raising the price to $120, right? Everybody literally started to praise Microsoft for being pro-consumer, right? Which to me doesn't make any sense, because they should not have done what they did in the first place. And I think that they did that intentionally, and I do not believe that they had any intentions of changing it if the backlash wasn't as severe as it was, right? And one thing that I noticed that everybody likes to bring up, after this whole thing, after praising Microsoft and calling them pro-consumer, and the fact that they love to listen to fans, and they hear us, right? They listen to their fans. Now the topic of discussion is, why are Sony's games still $70? Why aren't people fighting back against Sony to change their prices with the $70 games and their exclusives, right? Well, my response to that is very simple. First of all, not every one of their games are $70. Not every one of their games are $70. Let me start off by saying that, right? So it's intermittent. There are games that have been $50, you know? Some of them have been just a standard $60 price point, you know? So everybody's saying that Sony's games are $70. All of them is ridiculous, because that's not true, right? And the other thing that I want to mention when it comes to this is the simple fact that the price of gaming and the price of development has drastically increased, you know, when it comes to you know, how much money they put into developing the games and how much time it takes and the resources and all of the effort that it takes to create, you know, a high quality game, right? So I mean, I hear people saying that, you know, Sony, you know, they've had quality games for a while now, you know, so what is their purpose of raising the price for their games, right? Intermittently. And my response to that is, it's inevitable. Honestly, I honestly believe that the price increase for, you know, individual games was an inevitable thing. It was going to happen. I mean, it's just the nature of how our industry works. You know what I mean? You put money into building a game, you know, and then you get money back from selling it. Correct? The more money that you put into something, if the price doesn't change, how sustainable do you think that will be? Right? And see, the thing is that before they even did any of that, before they even raised the price on, you know, on PlayStation's games and stuff like that, I mean, they told people why they were going to do it. You know, they explained, like, look, man, this is, in order for this to continue to be the way that it is, if you want to continue to get these high quality games, you know, with the rising costs of development and stuff like that, right? Something's got to give. You know what I'm saying? It's either you can't have your cake and eat it. You know what I mean? It's either you're going to, you know, lose the quality of games that we've all come to love and expect from them, or, you know, love and expect from them, and then have, you know, the price increase due to those things, right? Or, you know, we can keep the price the way that it is and then just keep gaming stagnant. I don't like that idea whatsoever. You know, what Sony did as far as raising their prices, $10, it's a $10 difference, is not unreasonable. Do I think it's like the greatest thing in the world? No, not necessarily. Do I think it's the most terrible thing in the world? No, I don't think so. It's more like I understand it. You know? Do I want to fork over $70 every time? Well, I mean, $70 is still $70, right? But at the same time, what would you rather do? Would you rather have a game that is high quality, you know, the game that is incredibly fantastic, and a game that you remember for the rest of your life, right? As opposed to a game that's cheaper, where once you're done with it, it's forgettable. You forget about it. It's not that important. It's not significant. It's significant. It doesn't move the needle whatsoever. I think you know what my answer would be. You know, so all of these people who are going out of their way to come at people who are not super perplexed by the idea of Sony raising the price to their game $10, right, is insane to me, you know, because it's not unreasonable, and I feel like it's just as a response basically to what Microsoft did, which, please don't get me started, because I don't even really want to waste time talking about that. You know, maybe I'll make another video talking about that whole thing with the price hike and everything like that, and how I think it affects, or how I think it's very telling to what I think Game Pass is doing and what their vision is and where I think that they currently are. But that's not the topic of this video. But honestly, man, all of these people who are making a big deal about this, it's not that big of a deal. You know, I think people are focusing on the wrong thing. You know, people are focusing on, why are you guys not fighting back to keep, you know, your games at $60, right? To me, that's not the right question, because to me, that price increase was inevitable. You know what I mean? Because if you're going to create a culture around creating games as big as they are, and Sony's culture, and have a culture centered around creativity and all of the stuff, all of the things that they've come to do when it comes to their ecosystem, if you're going to continue doing that, that price hike is inevitable. You know, it's just a reality. Sony is not going down the same path as Microsoft. You know, so this whole cloud gaming thing, it just wouldn't fit in their model and their culture, not at least not in the way that Game Pass is doing it. So it costs money to do these things, you know. But back to the point, I think people are focusing on the wrong things. in my opinion. I mean, in my opinion, the question isn't, should we be fighting against the $70? I think the question is, not should, but are Sony going to continue to create these high quality games? Are they going to continue to reinvest the money that we've invested into them, as their ecosystem? Are they going to continue to, put that money back into the studios, that help build their ecosystem? You know what I mean? So I just don't believe that what Sony has done is completely unreasonable, and that's why I'm not making a big deal about games like Returnal. A lot of people are going crazy about Returnal being $70 and they think that it's not worth the money and whatnot. First of all, we don't know how the game is going to be. That's the first thing. And second of all, I have no problems with that. And you know why I don't have a problem with that? Because I like to see talent grow, and that's a thing that Sony is trying to focus on as a part of their culture. They want to grow their studios organically, and I really love that idea. And to see Housemarque go from what they were, which was, things like Resogun, things like, Alienation, and some of these other games that they've made, right, in the past, seeing them go from that to what they are now, to me, it shows growth, right? And I love to see that the money and the effort and the time and the love and care that we've put into the ecosystem and the community, is being reflected back into these studios growing. I mean, just look at Sony Studios, man. Look at how they are right now. Look at where they've come from. That doesn't happen overnight. That happens with a lot of time, care, and support. And that is the reason why I'm buying Returnal for $70, because I want to support that game. I want to support that team. If it's going to help make the ecosystem better, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to see them flourish. I want to see them be the best that they can be. And that goes for all of Sony Studios, even the smaller ones. I want to see them grow. I want to see them become some of the best developers and studios in the industry. But that doesn't happen overnight, and it's not cheap. It's just not cheap. It is what it is. I mean, if you're gonna create some of the biggest and best and the grandest games, you have to pay for it, man. So I don't think what they're doing is completely unreasonable. I just don't. And it is what it is. But outside of that, guys, that's pretty much all I have to say. Just make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.